we will start off in our comfortable seated position. So whatever that may mean for you this evening is fabulous as we get going. Welcome to Monday Evening Yoga. My name is Sarah, if you haven't been here before. Like I said, we have 60-minute options. So if you have an hour to stick around for, at the end of the 40-minute first meeting, we will end that and then we'll just come back into the same exact link the last 20 minutes. And our last 20 minutes this evening, we're going to do just a quick little vinyasa flow, kind of a sun salutation, and then we'll actually have some time for Shavasana as well. So we'll get our little bit of final relaxation, which I don't usually throw in, but I'm excited to do a little bit of relaxation, especially since now it's dark outside when we start class. So kind of a little bit different of a tone this evening for me because I've got my big windows that usually let all that sunshine in, and it is going down. Either way, so we're starting off in our comfortable seated position. Take a second to just think about your posture in this position wherever you are, and take a moment to just make any adjustments that you might need to make it either a little bit better posture or a little bit more comfortable of a posture. So if you notice that it's really hard to keep your spine nice and long when you have the legs crossed, maybe take a moment and just readjust a little bit, and find that position that helps you keep that lower back nice and long. It helps you keep the shoulders low away from the ears and the head and the neck nice and tall up towards the ceiling. From here, let's go ahead and take our scan of the body. So starting from the top of the head, moving all the way down through the torso, the arms, the neck, the muscles in the face and the jaw, through the legs, down to the tips of your toes. And as you take that scan of the body, I just want you to, without any judgment, notice where those points of tension are. Notice where you're feeling maybe a little bit sore or tired. And conversely, maybe there are some spots that you're feeling particularly good this evening as we get started. And like I said, that's without judgment. So just noticing that so that as we get moving, especially where we're going to focus on some bending, some back bending in this practice, you just need to be aware of where you're at and places that you can push a little bit and places that it's not a good idea to push a little bit. Let's take a couple of moments and just find any type of range of motion as we take our first couple of deep breaths that might feel good for you this evening. So if you notice that tension through the core, maybe it's a nice big lateral bend in either direction. If you noticed it through the lower back, that rounding of the lower back, maybe it's a spinal twist. Maybe this tension for you was in the head of the neck. So you roll the head side to side. Maybe you found it in your jaw. So you release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Whatever's gonna feel good. Let's take about 2 more nice deep breaths in that range of motion. So choosing one of those, or maybe you just stay right in center and find that nice easy range of motion for one more nice deep breath. And when you finish that last one, let's just go ahead and bring it on back to center. All right, so we are going to move through most of those ranges of motion that I just mentioned. So if you didn't get a chance to maybe get as much in one of those as you wanted, no need to worry. So I want to start actually with the jaw this evening because I build up a lot of tension there, and I think that we tend maybe not to notice when we build it up there. So the first thing I want you to do is just notice, do you have tension there? Does your jaw kind of hurt? Do you clench it when you get stressed? If no, then maybe this won't feel as good for you as it might for some others. We're just going to take a couple of moments here and just focus on opening and closing at the jaw. So maybe just a slight tip up of the chin, and then just a couple of times kind of at a pace that feels right for you and at a level that feels right for you, just opening up through the jaw as wide as you can. Big stretch there through those muscles, and then exhaling to release and relax. So not necessarily bringing your teeth together, but just taking a moment to let those muscles relax. We're just going to do that twice more, nice and easy. Big inhale to open up, and exhale to release. And once more, just like that. Big inhale opens up, exhale releases. We're going to do the same with the muscles in the face. So with our inhales, we're going to scrunch up all the muscles in the face. So close your eyes nice and tight, clench the jaw together. And then with your exhale, release and relax. So maybe your eyes can open. Maybe you just let the muscles in the face relax and release. Maybe the jaw falls open a little bit with that exhale. Let's do that twice more. Same thing. Big inhale, scrunches up those muscles, really tenses through them. And then exhale, releases and relaxes. Once more, just like that. Inhale, clenches up. Exhale, releases. All right, let's put a little range of motion into our bodies. Let's start with some nice, easy shoulder rolls. So with your inhales, we're pulling the shoulders up towards the ears, and then with our exhales, pulling them down and back at your own pace here. So you can take it a little slower or a little faster than me. That is totally fabulous, whatever works. Finding those nice big circles. And then go ahead and change that direction here. So switch it up, take them forward instead of backwards. Same nice big circles, same pace that works for you. One more time, big inhale, pulls the shoulders up towards the ears, and exhale to release. Let's move just slightly further down the body. Let's get our lateral bends in. So go ahead and give me a big inhale to bring those arms out and up towards the ceiling. Our exhale is going to bring that right hand down towards the mat. Left arm comes up over top. Nice big stretch. Now you can keep the palm down. If you want a little more range of motion, you can try and bring that elbow down, whatever feels comfortable for you. And let's just move nice and easy a couple times side to side. Again, at your own pace is fabulous here. So maybe your inhale brings you through center and your exhale brings you to your other side and you keep it moving a little faster. Maybe you find that a hold feels good. And so you hold it to one direction, and then I'll let you know at about halfway when to switch. You want to just find that first direction. Go ahead and find it, that nice big stretch. And then right here, go ahead and switch sides if you held that first side that whole time there. If you're moving with your breath, go ahead and keep going. Couple more big inhales and exhales. Fabulous. Give me two more nice deep breaths. There we go. It's Monday night, you guys. Two more. And after that last one more inhale brings you to centered. And the exhale circles the arms down and around. Feel free to even up if you need to hit that second side one more time. Bringing it back to that centered position. We're going to find our spinal twists. You've got two options. You can bring the arms up through center every time, or you can leave them low. I'm going to move mine up through center this time, but if you want to leave them low, you can just start with them down by your sides. If we're moving up, give me a big inhale to bring those arms out and up. From here, we've got our super long spine. Our left hand is going to come to the outside of that right knee. Our right hand is going to come around behind into that spinal twist. So that same position is normal, but we're just moving the arms up through center. So next inhale brings us through center. Again, arms can come up or they can stay low. Exhale, bring down to that second side. Left hand comes around to the outside of that right hand comes around to the outside of that left knee. Left hand comes around behind. And then go ahead and move a couple times. Same thing as those lateral bends at your own pace. Maybe you move with each breath. Maybe you find a little bit of a hold in either direction. Just getting the spine started to be warmed up here, getting it moving. Fabulous. I started to that right side, so I'm going to do two more nice deep breaths. Again, feel free to even up and do three if you were on that opposite side and you need an extra one. And after that second side, one final time, one more big inhale brings us back to center. If you're bringing those arms up, they can come up nice and long. And then that exhale circles them down and around. If you have them low, just go ahead and bring it back to center. All right, last seated thing that we're going to do here before we kind of get moving into that back bend a little bit is just going to be our seated cat and cow. So if you have those legs out long or the knees bent and the feet planted, I invite you to bring them into cross. We're going to place those hands right on the outside of the knees. We'll use them for a little bit of support. Our inhale is going to press the chest forward, lift slightly through the chin, and around the lower back towards the front wall. Our exhale is going to put pressure through the hands, open up through the shoulder blades, tuck the chin in towards the chest, and open up the spine towards that back wall. So go ahead with the pace of your breath in that cat and cow. The inhale presses the chest forward, opens up. The exhale rounds out towards the back wall. Just kind of getting it moving nice and easy there. And trying to feel that little bit of stretch through the shoulders. So when I take it back into my cat, I really try and put pressure through the palms so that I can stretch the shoulders out a little bit more. Let's take three more nice deep breaths, three more times in each direction here.
And last nice deep breath. Here we go.
Finding each direction, and then when you finish that last one, bringing it back to center. This is going to take us right into our next one, which is going to be a very similar range of motion, but we're just going to change where the legs are. I'm going to turn sideways. You feel free to stay facing the same direction that you're in, or all we're going to do is we're going to bend the knees and plant the feet. And we're just going to start with our first tiny little back bend of the day. We're going to place the hands behind the hips. We're going to open up through the chest. Maybe you let the head fall back. Maybe the neck nice and long, whichever feels better for you. This is our little tiny back bend, just open up through the spine. And then we're gonna just exhale to place the torso onto the thighs and really open up through the spine there. So just a couple times in each direction. The inhale opens up through the belly, little mini back bend. The exhale walks those fingertips forward, places the chest on the thighs, and opens up through the spine. So same spinal range of motion, just kind of changing where our points of support are and the range of motion, the depth of the range of motion that we find. Go ahead and find 3 more nice deep breaths for me here. So 3 more times in each direction once again.
And last nice deep breath here. All right, fabulous. When you finish that out, we're going to take that spine
nice and long once again. And then all we're going to do is just find a little lower body stretch to get us going. So take those legs long out in front. Again, you can adjust if you need a little bit more space. We're going to inhale to find our long spine. Same as we've done the last couple weeks, pointing the fingertips out towards that opposite wall, keeping our spine nice and long as we hinge forward as far as we can go while it's long. And then our next exhale is going to round out, open up the shoulder blades, and change that stretch up a little bit so that it hits a little bit more of the back and takes a little bit of tension off the hamstrings. We're going to do that 3 more times for a total of 4. So inhale to find our long spine, come up and tall, lengthen those fingertips out. Exhale hinges us forward. Inhale gives us a little bit more length out the top of the head, and then exhale rounds into it when you've hit the edge of that range of motion. Twice more, just like that, keeping it going. If you're moving a little faster or slower, that's totally fine. Inhale finds our long spine. Exhale hinges out, keep the spine long. Inhale lengthens a little more, and exhale rounds into it. Changes up that stretch a little bit. And one more time. That inhale brings us to that nice long spine. Fingertips go out, exhale hinges forward, finds that really big stretch through the back of the legs. And then go ahead and round out one more time into that stretch for the shoulders, into that stretch for the lower back. Next inhale, go ahead and roll it on up. All right, we're just going to kind of keep going with our spinal ranges of motion here, but this time we're going to hit a 90-90. So I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to pull it in front of my body as if I was bringing my legs to cross, and then my right leg is going to come around to the side into our 90-90. So left leg, the shin is kind of parallel with the front side of my mat. It needs to be in or out a little bit more for your comfort. That's totally fine. Same thing with that side leg. We're going to start with a spinal twist here. So I want you to find a nice big inhale for that long spine. We're going to twist towards that left leg, towards the leg that's in front of the body. Right hand's going to come around to the outside of the knee. Left hand's going to come around behind. We're just going to do once in each direction here. So we've got a twist here, and then we're going to find a counter twist. So exhale releases us through center. Inhale finds our long spine, and then go ahead and twist in that opposite direction for that counter twist. Exhale releases it and brings it back to center. One lateral stretch in each direction. We're going to go down to the left once again. So the left palm or the left elbow can come down towards the floor. Right arm comes up over top for that nice big lateral stretch. Same thing that we did while our legs were either crossed or out long. Inhale brings us through center. Right hand comes down to the outside of that right leg. The left arm comes up over top for that other side lateral stretch. Inhale brings us back to center. All right, last one that we've got here on this side, we're going to take that left hand. So my left leg is out in front. If you're reversed, that's totally fine. My left hand is going to come around behind my hip. All we're going to do is change where we are. This is our second kind of mini back bend. We're going to press the hips up. We're going to balance on that front shin, and the right arm's going to come up over top. So we're inhaling, we're lifting up, we're putting pressure on that left hand, and that right arm's coming up over top for a nice big stretch. Exhale brings us down. We're going to do that 3 times for a total of 4 here. So inhale lifts us up, put pressure on that left palm, little mini back bend. Adjust this if you need to. Exhale brings us down. Twice more, same thing. Inhale, lifts those hips up. If you need a little less range of motion, maybe the right fingertips just reach up towards the ceiling. A little more, they can reach back. Exhale brings us down one more time, just like that. Inhale, lifts us up. Exhale brings us down. All right, all we've got to do here is go ahead and switch sides. So we're going to trade those legs. We're going to take that right foot in front, that left leg comes around to the outside. Spinal twist first towards that front knee, that right side. Inhale for our long spine. Exhale takes us over towards that right side, left hand around to the outside of the right knee, right arm around behind. Let's hit that counter twist. Our exhale releases. Our inhale finds our long spine at center. Our exhale takes us to that second side. Finding that counter twist. Exhale releases us back to center. Lateral stretch in each direction down to that right side. Hand or elbow can come down. Left arm comes up over top. A little bit deeper of a stretch. Inhale pulls us through center. Go ahead and take it to that second side. Maybe just the palm meets on this side. Right arm comes up over top. Inhale brings us back to center, that long spine. And we've got those 4 extensions here. So this time right hand comes around behind because right leg is in front. Left arm is going to come up. Inhale presses those hips up, opens up through the chest. Again, take this at whatever intensity you need it to be. Exhale brings us back down 3 more times, just like that. Inhale lifts us up. Exhale brings us down. Inhale lifts us up. Exhale brings us down. Last time, one more. Inhale brings us up. And exhale lowers us down. Fabulous work, you guys. All righty, we're going to take it to a little bit of core work. So I'm going to release those legs. We're going to bring them back to those feet planted and knees bent right in front where we started this stretch. All right, so for this back bend, it's going to be super important that we've got our strong core all ready to go. So we're going to get it warmed up. So I want you to start this one by just analyzing, again, the lower back. Make sure it's nice and long. If it's rounded out, you can always decrease this by sitting up a little bit taller. I want you to take those legs out nice and long. We're going to start off with just our feet planted. We're going to lean it back to whatever angle you can with while you're keeping that spine nice and long. So if you get down to here and you feel it round out, sit up a little taller, find your long spine wherever you need to be to make sure that it's in a good position. From here, we're just going to alternate lifting the right foot off and then the left foot off. If that's a little challenging for you tonight, you can always keep it right here in this centered hold. So I'm going to take my right foot, I'm going to lift it up towards my fingertips. I'm going to keep that angle on my spine. My left foot is still planted. Go ahead and lower it down. Just alternate a couple of times. Same thing. Left foot comes up. It's nice and long. Fingertips towards toes. And then back down. Make sure you keep that spine super long. So we want to make sure we're not rounding out through the lower back. Keep moving, alternating those feet, lifting up, increasing that challenge. So I can definitely start to feel this already in my core and my back because of the angle that I'm at, making sure it's challenging enough. So if you're not feeling it, maybe lowering down just a tiny bit more. Fabulous. Give me one more toe touch on each side. So I started with that right foot. I'm going to do one more on the right and one more on the left. And then I'm just going to sit it up tall just to release that tension in the core for just a second. Just a tiny second, releasing that tension. We're going to go right back into it. We're going to take it up a notch. So you're always welcome to stay there. You're always welcome to just find that tilt back and that hold. So take those arms long, find that angle once again. We're going to do 3-way. We're going to do a right toe touch, a left toe touch, and then both feet are going to come up. So if you don't need that challenge, just keep alternating. We've got a right toe touch, it comes up. We've got a left toe touch, it comes up, and then we're in that boat pose. So you can either just lift to your boat pose, or you can lengthen both of those legs into that toe touch. Both come down, we keep alternating. Right side, left side, and then both. Again, those knees can stay bent, or those legs can go long right down the side. Couple more times just like that. Keep that challenge, move at a pace that works for you. So again, if you're going a little faster or slower than me, that's totally fine this evening. Working that core a little bit here. A little bit different than our normal Monday evening practice. But you got to change things up to keep it going. Fabulous work, you guys. Give me one more time all the way through. So one more with that right, one more with that left, and one more with both. When you finish, sit it up tall, give that core a little bit of a break. All right, this final one is going to get us really prepared for our back bend. So we are going to work our way into camel this evening. which the way that we prep for camel is going to take us down into a little bit of a spinal twist and back up through a little bit of a spinal twist. So we're just going to work on a really slow and controlled Russian twist with our long arms. So your option to leave those heels down as always, or your option to lift them up into that full boat. We're going to start with those arms long. We're going to take that long arm. It's going to tap behind us. So we're opening up through the shoulders, finding that spinal twist. We'll come through center and keep it moving side to side. It should be super slow and controlled. You should keep that super long spine all the way through. So take your option here. Again, heels can stay down and you can just find that angle. That's fabulous. You can lift up for a little more challenge if you're feeling super strong and stable. And then we're just alternating. We're bringing that right hand, fingertips down to tap behind, through center, and then over in that other direction. Now, if that doesn't feel quite right, maybe you just tap it down out to the right. So you're opening up just slightly, you bring it back through center, and then just slightly through the left. So if you can't quite get that hand all the way around behind, that's okay. Keep and working here. Don't forget to breathe and make sure you keep that lower back nice and long. So even though the core is tired, don't let it round out. Nice work, you guys. Give me 4 more taps, twice more on each side. Don't forget to breathe here. Nice work, you guys. When you finish that 4th, once again, sit it up a little bit taller. Give that core a little break. Ooh, my hip flexors felt that one a little bit. All right, then we're going to hit a spinal twist here. So go ahead and roll it on down onto your back. Pull those knees into the chest. Take just a second here. Maybe rock a little bit side to side or in little circles. And let's go ahead and bend those knees, plant those feet. Take that right ankle, cross it over that left knee. Just slightly. Take those arms out into a nice big T. Let both legs fall down to that left side. So right knee is on top, left leg is still planted, and we're going down to that left side. And then I want you to look over that right shoulder. This kind of deepens our spinal twist here, opening up. Nice big stretch here after those twists. Give me an inhale to bring those legs back through center. We're just going to switch it up. So this time that left ankle crosses over that right knee. Both legs go down to that right side. We look over that left shoulder. And our inhale brings us up to center, releases that. And then we're going to take just a nice big roll up to bring it up to our long spine. So bringing it up and over, finding that long spine, and then we're going to transition over to hands and knees. So go ahead and roll it around, bring it on over. We're going to hit one more set of our cat and cow, this time from this position. So the wrists are under the shoulders, the knees are under the hips. We've got our inhale to press the belly towards the floor, lift the chin if that feels right. Exhale, rounds the spine out towards the ceiling, tucks the chin in towards the chest. A couple times in each direction here just to get the spine moving again. Fabulous. Give me one more nice deep breath in this cat and cow. When you finish out, go ahead and bring it back to center. All right. So from here, we're going to take it up tall onto our knees. So taking it up to that nice long spine. We're going to be working from this position for a couple of moments. So if you need a little extra padding under those knees, that is totally fabulous. I sometimes like to roll the top of my mat so that I just have an extra layer or two under my knees. If you have a blanket or something nearby that you'd like to put under there, or you can go with just your mat if you're comfortable where you're at. So that's your option right here to give yourself that little bit of extra padding. Now we're going to do a little bit more core work before we get into that half camel. My knees are about hip width apart, maybe just slightly wider. My core is super strong and tensed here. We're going to take those arms out long. So just like we did, we're going to find a little angle through the spine, but we're keeping those hips under our shoulders. So this is a little bit of quad work, a little bit of core work. We're taking it back to that angle that works for you where we aren't going to release, and then bring it back up to that long spine. So keep doing that a couple of times for me. Find that range that works for you. So maybe it's an inch or two and this is what feels right. Maybe you can get a little bit deeper into it and that feels okay. Wherever you're at is fabulous. So just getting a couple of these in, that little tilt, tiny pause at the back, feel your core be nice and strong there, and then bring it up to nice and long. Couple more, just like that. And then we'll hit that half camel and full camel, and then we will get moving to finish this out this evening for our first 40 minutes. Whew, fabulous. Give me three more just like that. That little tilt back, sitting it up nice and tall. 3, little tilt back, Lots of quad work here too. And one more, taking it back. And then back up to that nice long spine. Now, if you need a little release, you can bring it forward. You can give those knees a second, whatever works. We're gonna do an alternating half camel here. If you get into this half camel and it does not feel right, or if you know that this half camel is not gonna work for you, I want you to keep going with those tilt backs. We're working on that core strength. We're working on that little bit of that angle on the torso. Now our half camel, we're gonna take that twist that we practiced from our hips. We're gonna add it in here. And when I put my pressure on my legs, I like to place my hand right on the back of my heel. It presses kind of through the top of my foot, but doesn't bother my ankle, as opposed to if you place it on that ankle, it's a little bit of extra pressure on those small bones. So I place the inside of my thumb and pointer right on my heel as I open up into this. So we're gonna start once again with those long arms. We're up nice and tall. Like I said, we're gonna take it into half first. So I'm gonna take my right arm, it's gonna come up overhead. We're opening the shoulders into that twist that we found. From here, I'm gonna tilt backwards. I'm gonna place my hand on my heel. Now here's where you can change intensity. We're already in kind of a mini back bend. If you want more intense, you can take those fingertips over. If you want less intense, you can lower those fingertips down. Make the adjustment that your spine needs. Now with our next exhale, we're gonna power up off. We're gonna use our core and we're gonna come up to our long spine. So I'm gonna use my left hand. I'm gonna exhale, I'm gonna power up. And we're back at that long spine, that twist, bring that right arm back over. We're gonna switch sides. So we really wanna use our core, keep it nice and long, and we're not putting it in a weird position as we go into this. Left arm comes next. We're taking it up and over into that twist. The inside of that hand comes down to the heel. Change the intensity as you need to. You can take it here. You can take it more intense for that deeper back bend. And then our next exhale, I'm using that right arm to power up. I'm using my core to power up into that twist. And then the left arm comes up over top. We're gonna do twice more on each side. So we've got 4 more total. Starting with that right, taking into that twist. Find that little back bend. Choose your intensity. Our exhale cartwheels us up. Use your core to come up, even though it's tired. Back to center, left side. Left arm opens up, spinal twist. Hand comes down to the heel. Change your intensity as you need to, more or less. Maybe as your spine gets a little warmed up, it feels better. Exhale powers us up. Use that core. Back to center. We've got 1 more time on each side here. Again, if this isn't right, we're still in that little bit of a tilt backwards to keep working the core. Into our twist, right hand comes down, left arm comes up over top. Our exhale presses us back up. We've got 1 more side. Left on that half. So left comes down, right comes up over top. Nice big stretch. Our exhale powers us up and brings it back to center. Again, if you need that little release of those knees, feel free to take a second, do what feels right. Our final one before we do just a little flow to finish off our first 40. Give me that full camel. Again, if you need a little bit less, if the spine is not feeling it today, you can keep going with those half camels. You can keep going with that nice little tilt backwards, or you can always take it to hands and knees. Find your child's pose or your cat and cow while we finish out on this full camel. Now, we're gonna do our full camel just twice. So we're gonna lead with one arm, it's gonna bring us down. We're gonna come back up. We're gonna lead with the other arm. It's gonna bring us down. It's gonna come back up. And then we'll get moving just a little bit to finish this out. So I'm gonna start with that right arm. I'm gonna do this exactly the same way I just did into that half camel. We're opening up through that spine. I'm gonna bring that right hand down to my heel, my left arm straight up towards the ceiling. Now, instead of just a back bend here, I'm gonna open up through the chest towards the ceiling. So my left arm almost comes out to my side, and then I'm gonna bring it around and place it on that other heel and open up. Now, this is that full camel. It is a very intense pose. If this isn't gonna work for you, do not come into it. And we're gonna power out of this the same way that we powered out of that half. We're gonna lift the left up. We're gonna take it up towards that ceiling. Our exhale and our core strength takes us back up to our long spine. We bring that right hand over. Same thing, this is it. Last time, I'm gonna lead with my left, and then we're gonna do just a little flow. We'll give those knees a little break. Left arm comes up, we open up, we bring that left hand down to the heel, that right arm opens towards the ceiling, and then down to the side to open the chest. It comes around to meet that right heel. You can open up, maybe you keep that head a little bit longer if letting it fall backwards doesn't feel right. And we're gonna power out of this the same exact way that we did that half, lifting the right, back towards the ceiling. Our exhale and our core strength brings us back up to that kneeling position. Let's get into our flow from here. Plant those hands down, curl those toes under, press the hips up and back. Give me a down dog. Like I said, we're going to get it moving for these last couple of minutes. Take that right foot up and back into our three-legged dog. Bend that left knee, sweep that right foot forward, plant it down. We're going to take this all the way to our warrior two. So our left hand is going to come up. We're going to open up. We're going to turn that left heel down. That right arm comes forward. From this, we've got a little baby back bend into our peaceful. So flip the right palm, lift it up and back, bring that left hand down towards the thigh. Exhale brings us back out to center. Go ahead and cartwheel it all the way down. Right hand comes down, left hand comes down, left heel comes up. We're going to transition to our three-legged dog. So go ahead and press that right foot up and back, three-legged dog, and then set that right foot right down next to the left. Same thing, other side. Inhale, left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Bend that right knee, sweep that left foot forward, plant it down. From here, right into that warrior two. Right hand comes up, right heel comes down, left arm goes forward, bend through that left knee. Fabulous work, little baby back bend in our peaceful. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Nice little stretch here. Our exhale brings us back to center, and then we cartwheel it down. Left hand, right heel. Through our three-legged dog, one more time each side. Left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Little stretch here, take a second. Find that nice big stretch through the calf, through the quad, through the hamstring, and then place that left foot down. Right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Bend that left knee, sweep that right foot forward. We're going to add just an extra layer into this. So warrior two first. Bring those arms up, turn that left heel down. Bend that right knee. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back, peaceful. Exhale brings us back out to center. We're going to take this to our crescent lunge. So our left hand is going to sweep on down and forward. Our left heel is going to come up. And then we've got those arms up. We're in that balance. We're in that crescent lunge. Now from here, our kind of counter movement for our back bends is going to be a hinge forward. So you can take those hips forward just a little, or those hips backwards, the torso forward just a little bit, our hinge forward. Now from here, you've got the option to keep those arms long, take them towards the floor, or we can open up through the chest, pull those palms together, interlace those fingers, press the shoulder blades together, open up through the chest, and maybe you hinge forward at the hips and let those knuckles come up towards the ceiling. If you found that, give me one inhale here, and then exhale to release. Fingertips come down towards the floor. We're once again transitioning through our three-legged dog just to hit that other side. So bend a little deeper, plant those hands, right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Place that right foot down next to the left. Same thing, other side. Left foot up and back, three-legged dog. We're transitioning to our warrior two first. Bend that right knee, sweep the left foot forward, plant it down. Right hand comes up, right heel comes down, left arm goes forward, bend through that left knee. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back, peaceful. Exhale brings us back out to center. Here comes our crescent. Right arm sweeps down and forward, right heel comes up, bend through that left knee, those hips face forward. Our hinge forward at the hips comes here. Once again, those arms can just face down. You can pull the shoulder blades together from here, or you can interlace those hands, press those knuckles away from the body, shoulder blades together. Maybe you hinge a little deeper, press those hands up. If you found that, give me one more big inhale, and then our exhale, nice and easy, releases, fingertips come down towards the floor, left foot, three-legged dog, press it up and back. Plant it down next to the right. Set those knees down nice and wide. Sit those hips back towards the heels, child's pose. All right, this is another great counter movement for those back bends. So give yourself a nice big exhale to really release through the spine, through the lower back. Let it kind of round out here. Let the forehead rest against the floor. Take a moment, find a couple deep breaths. If it feels good, I want to invite you to walk those hands side to side. So maybe you bring those hands over to the right side of the mat. Find that nice big stretch through the left side of the body. And if you found that and it felt good, go ahead and walk them through center and over to the left side. And then go ahead and bring them back to center. One more time, we're going to bring it up to hands and knees. We're going to find a spinal twist to finish off our first 40 minutes. So go ahead,
Bring it up to those hands and knees. We've got our thread the needle spinal twist here. So I want you to take that right hand, release it from the floor. Give me an inhale to sweep those fingertips up towards the ceiling. Spinal twist here. And then our exhale brings that hand down, threads it underneath that left hand and that left knee. Place the shoulder down on the floor into that deep spinal twist. Now from here, you've got a couple options. You can keep that left hand planted right where it is. You can extend it out long in front, or you can take it up towards the ceiling, face the palm behind you, bend at the elbow, and bring it around behind the back for that half bind. Any of those three options is fabulous for this spinal twist. We're going to take 2 more nice deep breaths here on this side. Fabulous. If you found that half bind, that next inhale takes that arm up towards the ceiling, plants it down, and then take that right hand back to meet the mat. We're back in center. Let's hit that other side. Release the left arm, lift it up towards the ceiling, open up through the chest. Our exhale brings us down, threads it underneath, places the left shoulder onto the ground. We're in that spinal twist again. Palm can stay right where it is. Arm can extend out nice and long, or half bind extends that arm up towards the ceiling. Palm faces behind you, bend at the elbow, bring it around behind the back. Any of those three options is fabulous. Let's find 2 more nice deep breaths. Awesome. If you found that half bind, go ahead and extend that arm up towards the ceiling, plant it down. Let's take that left hand back up and then place it down onto the mat. So starting in our mountain pose, so those feet can be right underneath the hips is where mine is comfortable, but if you are comfortable a little wider or a little narrower, that is also fabulous. Take a second to just kind of feel it out, see what feels right for you this evening. Tuck the pelvis just under, just slightly, so we don't have any rounding through our lower back, but we've got a nice long spine. Once again, I know the core is tired. I know the back did a lot of work in that last practice, but still being mindful of where it's at as we get started. And then where the hands go is kind of what'll feel right for you. So sometimes when I'm feeling really good about my practice that day, I like to strike my power pose, hands on the hips, maybe the palms face forward, and we feel powerful by keeping the shoulders low away from the ears and the fingertips out wide. Maybe they just kind of relax by your sides, wherever feels right for you for those hands as we get going. We're just going to start off taking 3 nice deep breaths here in this stable mountain pose. Feeling the 3 corners of your feet, so the inside ball of your foot, the outside ball of your foot, and the heel, as well as all 10 toes. Give me 1 more nice deep breath here, nice and easy in this mountain pose. And then, like I said, we're kind of going to get moving a little bit, so we're going to take this breathing and this mountain pose into kind of a sweeping range of motion. So with our inhales, we're going to take those fingertips towards the floor. We're going to bend those knees. We're going to sweep them around. We're going to go all the way up towards the ceiling for that big stretch. And then our exhale brings us back to that starting position. Let's just find a couple of those. Nice big range of motion. So our inhale sweeps us around and up. And our exhale pulls the hands down. This will also serve to kind of get those legs a little. Getting a lot of political calls. That's okay. Exhale circles us down around. Give me 2 more nice deep breaths here, just like that. Take them at your own pace. And the last one, just like that. All right, now one of my favorite things about practicing in our own homes is that you can kind of feel out how you're feeling without any judgment from the people around you, or any, maybe even though people wouldn't judge you, that feeling can sometimes get in our heads and stop us from doing what really feels right. So I want us to take these next 3 nice deep breaths to really find what feels right. So maybe the spine is feeling a little tight after that practice, so you just kind of move it around. Maybe it feels good to shake off the legs a little bit. Maybe it's just a nice, easy forward fold. Go ahead and find whatever it is that feels really good, even if it feels a little bit silly. You're just kind of moving it for the next couple breaths. Awesome. Give me one more nice deep breath in whatever range or whatever kind of movement you found. And then bring it back to that centered mountain pose. All right, you guys, let's get going a little bit. Let's get our flow moving. I'm going to start off at the top of my mat. So I've got my space behind me to flow in and out of our crescent lunges, our warrior twos. We're going to start off with a big inhale, and our exhale is going to swan dive us forward. So here we go. Big inhale, brings those arms out and up. Big stretch towards the ceiling. Exhale, folds us forward. Give me that inhale for a halfway lift. Find our flat back, long spine, activating through the core. Exhale, fold into it. From here, give me a bend through those knees. We're going to step that right foot back long. Heel stays off the floor as we get started. Crescent lunge first. So bend through that left knee, sweep those arms up. We're in that nice crescent lunge, right heel still off the floor. Nice bend in that left knee. Let's take this to our warrior two. Open that right heel up, open those arms. Peaceful warrior, once again, flip that front palm, lift it up and back. And we're going to use this to transition down to the mat. So left hand comes down, right hand comes down, right heel comes up. From here, plant those palms. That left foot goes through our three-legged dog and then meets in our down dog. So press that left foot up and back and then place it down next to the right. Low flow, or as always, you have the option of finding your child's pose here. If you're finding that flow, or exhale, floats the shoulders out over the wrists. Toes or knees, we keep the elbows close and lower down. Inhale, presses the chest up, cobra, up dog, baby cobra. Exhale, turns the toes over, hips up and back, down dog. If you found that child's pose, go ahead and meet us there. We're going to find our left foot three-legged dog once again. So press it up and back, sweep it forward, plant it down, and then step that right foot forward to meet the left forward fold. From here, let's take our chair pose. Inhale, scoops those arms up, sinks those hips back, find that long spine. Give me one more exhale, sink into it a little bit deeper. Inhale, stands us up tall. Exhale, brings those hands back down, mountain pose. All right, let's find that other side. Inhale, takes those arms out and up. Exhale, folds us forward. Halfway lift. Inhale, flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold it forward. We're taking that left foot back long this time. So left foot steps back, right knee bends, left heel stays up, sweep those arms up into our crescent lunge. Fabulous. Here we go, warrior two. Turn the left heel down, open those arms up. Takes it to our peaceful. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Use this to transition on down. Right hand comes down, left heel comes up. Three-legged dog transitions us to our downward facing dog. Right foot presses up and back, and then place that right foot down next to the left. Again, option for child's pose, down dog, or that low flow. Exhale, floats the shoulders out over the wrists. High to low, toes or knees, chaturanga. Press the chest up, cobra, up dog, baby cobra. Turn the toes over, hips up and back, downward facing dog. If you found that child's pose, go ahead and meet us there. Right foot into our three-legged dog once again. Press it up and back. Sweep that right foot forward, plant it down, step the left forward to meet it, forward fold. Chair pose. Inhale, sweep those arms up, sinks those hips back. Take that exhale to sink a little deeper into it. Nice inhale, stands us up tall. Exhale, circles those arms around. Awesome. Let's keep it moving just like that. Inhale, arms out and up. Go ahead and fold it forward. Halfway lift, find your flat back, long spine. Fold it forward, bend those knees, plant those hands, right foot steps back long. Heel stays up, crescent lunge, find your balance, sweep it up. Option for spinal twist here. Pull the palms together, bring the hands down to heart center, right elbow to left knee. Very briefly here. When you get there, find that exhale, and then that inhale brings us back to center. We're back in that crescent lunge. Arms go up long. Transition to warrior two. Open that right heel towards the floor. Open those arms. Peaceful. Flip the front palm. Lift it up and back. Use this to cartwheel all the way down. Left hand comes down. Right hand comes down. Right heel comes up. Our three-legged dog can now transition us into our chaturanga if you would like. So take that left foot up and back. Once again, you can place that left foot down to transition here, or you can take this right into your low flow. Shoulders float out over the wrists. You can still do it from that knee. Lower through chaturanga. When you get to the bottom, plant that left foot down and then press up into your up dog or your cobra. Turn those toes over, hips up and back, downward facing dog. From here, you can either transition with the three-legged dog or you can hop those feet forward to meet the hands. I'm gonna go three-legged dog, left foot up and back, sweep the left forward, and then bring the right forward to meet the left in our forward fold. Either way, we're at the top of our mat, forward fold. Here comes that chair. Inhale, sweeps those arms up, sinks those hips back. Find that long spine. Keep those arms up nice and long. Fabulous. Exhale, sinks into it a little bit deeper. Inhale, stands us up tall. Exhale, circles the arms down and around. Let's go after it, second side. Inhale out and up. Go ahead and swan dive it forward, forward fold. Halfway lift finds our flat back, our long spine. Exhale, sinks us into it. Bend those knees, plant those hands, left foot steps back. We've got our crescent lunge on this side. Inhale, sweeps those arms up, sinks into that right knee. Option for spinal twist, or you can keep it right here. You can pull those palms together, bring them down to heart center, send that left elbow towards that right knee. Once again, very brief. So once you found this, take your second, exhale, and then your inhale is gonna bring us right back up to center. Nice long spine. Let's transition this to our warrior two. Left heel turns down, open those arms up, flip the front palm, let's lift it up and back, peaceful. Exhale, cartwheels us all the way down. Right hand, left heel. Transitioning to our three-legged dog, option to keep it up or place it down when you get there. Right foot up and back. Again, you can place it down and go into that downward facing dog. You've got child's pose as your option. Low flow, second option. We're bringing it high to low, chaturanga with that foot up. When you get to the bottom, place the right foot down before you bring it into that up dog or cobra. Turn those toes over, hips up and back. Same two options for your transition to the front of the mat. You can find that three-legged dog, sweep it forward, or you can step or hop those feet to your forward fold, chair pose. When you get there, inhale, sweeps those arms up, sinks those hips back. Nice, find that bend in those knees. Inhale, stands us up tall. Exhale, brings those arms down. We're gonna do a very abbreviated version one more time each side, and then we've got our little relaxation Shavasana. We'll move a little slower because we've got a few less things to get through. Give me an inhale, bring the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dives us forward, forward fold. Focusing on the breath for this last one. Halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale, folds us forward. From here, we're going to transition kind of quickly through our crescent to our warrior two. So take that right foot, step it back long, heel stays up. We're going to sweep up into our crescent. As soon as you get to the top with that inhale, our exhale turns the right heel down, opens the arms up. We're right into that warrior two. We've still got our peaceful. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Exhale, cartwheels us all the way down. We've still got that option for our low flow. So you can once again, three-legged dog to low flow or three-legged dog to down dog, or you can find that child's pose. Any of those is great. If you're in that flow, chaturanga, keep the elbows close, press the chest up, and then turn those toes over, hips up and back, down dog. Go ahead and step, jump, or three-legged dog. That foot goes feet to the front of the mat. And then we're just gonna roll it on up. So we're skipping that chair for this last round. Inhale, takes the arms up. And we're gonna go right into that second side, finishing out just like that. Exhale, folds us forward. Halfway lift on this side. Nice flat back, long spine. Exhale, folds us forward. Once again, we're going to transition through our crescent. So step that left foot back long, heel stays up for just a moment as we sweep the arms up with our inhale. As you get to the top, our exhale takes us to that warrior two. Arms and heel comes down, flip the front palm, reverse it. Exhale, cartwheels us all the way down. Right hand, left heel. Right foot, three-legged dog, or, well, yeah, three-legged dog, and then you can keep it up or you can place it down. High to low, chaturanga, floats the shoulders out over the wrists. We lower down, we inhale to press up, crescent or up dog. And then we exhale, turn the toes over, hips up and back. We're gonna take this to our transition to our child's pose. So we're in that downward facing dog. Take those knees down wide, sink the hips back towards the heels. All right, you guys, we've made it through the most challenging part of this workout. We're just going to take a couple moments to catch our breath and then find our brief Shavasana before we finish out. If it feels good in your child's pose, you're welcome to walk those hands to the right and or left. If it doesn't feel good, then feel free to keep them right at center. If you found that one side, just make sure you even up, bring it over to the left here. Alrighty. And go ahead and meet it back at center. Now we've got a couple options here to transition to your Shavasana positioning. So if child's pose is a super comfortable pose for you, or you would like to circle those arms around behind or wherever works here, you're welcome to stay right here. If not, you've got a couple of other options. You can find comfortable seated. You can sit it up and then sink those hips to one side and bring it on to your back. If legs up the wall sounds like a great option for you this evening. I love legs up the wall as a recovery pose, so you can find a little space and take them up. Go ahead and make that transition to your comfortable Shavasana pose, whatever that may be this evening, something that's just going to help you release and relax for these last couple of moments as we find our breath. When you get to that pose that you have chosen for your Shavasana this evening, I want you to take that scan of the body just like the one that we started with. Starting from the top of your head, moving down through the muscles in the face and jaw, through the neck, the shoulders, into your fingertips, through your torso, hips, glutes, all the way down through your legs to the tips of your toes. We're just noticing here how we're feeling now at the end of this practice, where those points of tension are that have maybe stuck around, where the ones are that feel a little bit different from when we started. Once you've found that, I want you to take 3 nice deep breaths, and with each exhale, see if you can release any of those points of tension that remain. And if that invites a little bit of range of motion, a roll of the head side to side, or a movement as you find that the position you're in isn't the most comfortable you could be in, feel free to take that. From here, I want you to take a moment and focus, rather than on those points of tension, on your breath. As you inhale, allowing air to fill your lungs, to expand through the ribs and the stomach. And as you exhale, finding that release with gravity towards the floor in whatever position you're in. Take 2 more breaths just like that, allowing for that expansion and relaxation. And now, similarly to how we started with those muscles in the face, we're going to just take it full body to a tension and release. We're going to find 3 breaths. So change your position if you need to. I'm going to lengthen my legs. As you inhale, you're going to find tension. And as you exhale, you're going to release. So we've got 3 breaths here. I want you to go ahead and find that first big inhale and find tension wherever you can. So maybe you ball those hands into fists. Maybe you scrunch through the face. Maybe you tense through the core, the legs, point the toes. Big exhale releases all of that. Twice more, just like that, just to finish us off here. Inhale finds all that tension as much as you can, every muscle you can think of. Exhale releases. Last one. Inhale finds that tension. Exhale releases. Fabulous. All right, final movement here with your inhale. I want you to pull towards center. So if you're on your back, maybe you pull the knees in towards the chest. If you're in your child's pose, maybe you wrap those arms around. If you're seated, maybe you fold forward. And then as you exhale, release from center. So maybe a big lengthening. So if you're seated, you take it up towards the ceiling. If you're on your back, you take your arms overhead. If you're on child's pose, you extend to your stomach, and then we're just going to transition to our comfortable seated position. So go ahead and make that move wherever you were to bring it to seated. Alrighty, we're going to finish off
with our 2 nice deep breaths leading with our arms. Again, comfortable seated can be wherever you need it to be as we finish off. Our big inhale brings those arms out and up towards the ceiling. Stretch long away from center, and our exhale circles them down and around. One more time like that. This time the palms should meet overhead. Inhale brings us out and up. Pull those palms together once you get to the top of that big stretch, and our exhale brings them down to heart center. All right, you guys, awesome work tonight. Thank you, as always, so much for joining me. I love that so many of you stick with me for this extra 20 minutes every week, and I love seeing all of you here every single week. It makes my day, makes my week as part of my week by far. The light in me honors the light in you, bowing as we say namaste.